are looking at Oak Grove Middle School Pool, the home of the Kennedy High School boys swimming and diving team, where tonight, live BEC-TV brings you Kennedy High School boys swimming. I'm Jeff Lee, ready to bring your Kennedy Eagles in a Metro West Conference crosstown rivalry dual meet against the Jefferson Jaguars. It's rivalry week. Their Eagles, led by their head coach, Todd Walsh, coming off their first conference victory of the season last week against Robbinsdale Cooper, comes in tonight with a 1-2 record in the Metro West Conference. This year they've been led by Tyler Kaufman, Nathaniel Schuler, and Kyle Schletty. The three have combined for 9 first places in Eagles' 3 meets in the conference play thus far. Tyler Kaufman's 4 first places leads the way, 2 each in the 50 freestyle and the 100 freestyles this year for Mr. Kaufman. Schuler, 3 first places, 2 in the 100 back, 1 in the 200 IM. And Schletty taking first place in the 200 and the 500 just last week against Cooper. So these 3 guys will be leading the attack here this evening. What's on the other side of the pool? Well, it's the crosstown rivals, Jefferson Jaguars. Led by their head coach, Nate Linscheid. Jags are also coming off their first victory of the season against the Cooper Hawks. Jaguars are bringing an identical record of 1-2 into the Metro West Conference. So these teams are looking to move ahead of each other and even up their conference record for this 2020-21 season. The Jaguars are led this year by Aiden Shermack, Preston Lee, and their senior captain, Ethan Clare. Preston Lee leads the way with 3 first-place victories, followed by Shermack and Clare, both with 2. So we've got a little tussle here tonight, deciding placement in the Metro West Conference on the line as the 1-2 Eagles and the 1-2 Jaguars go at it here at Oak Grove Middle School. Well, as it has been all winter season, limited spectators in the stands here tonight due to our COVID restrictions. However, we at BEC-TV are happy to bring this swimming rivalry to all the fans and families back home. Lots to swim for here tonight. Chance to even up their conference record and own the bragging rights for the city of Bloomington. Sit back and enjoy some boys high school swimming and diving.
Coaches Brad and Braden Frazier, Courtney Ramirez, and referee and starter for tonight's. One, 2, and 3. Please silence all electronic devices and stand for the national anthem sung by Grace Hopkins. There's some technical difficulties, hold on.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
Our first event, the 200-yard medley.
Town rivalry. We're going to start off tonight's festivities with the 200 medley relay. We'll have a junior varsity heat followed by a varsity heat throughout the evening. Starting with the 200 medley relay, we will have a junior varsity heat, a couple of Jaguar relays. Scoring tonight, 8 points for first, 4 for second, and 2 for third for relays. Cannot score more than 2 relays in any event. Like I said, we have 2 Jefferson relays here in the first event of the evening. Lane number 2 will be Klaus Robinson leading off, swimming backstroke. And lane number 3, Ben Patton. This is backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, freestyle, 2 lengths of each stroke in that order. So tonight, lane 6 will be at the top of your screen, lane 1 will be at the bottom of your screen. The Jaguars will be in lanes 1 through 3 throughout the evening. Your Kennedy Eagles will be in lanes 4 through 6. Ben Patton getting Jefferson's A relay out to about a body length lead here as we approach the breaststroke leg. Ian Rejda and Aiden Moody will be diving in. Moody diving in lane number 3. Coming up in the varsity portion, Kennedy will have 2 relays. Jefferson also will have 2 relays. Senior night here tonight at Oak Grove Middle School for these Kennedy Eagles, as the Kennedy team will be saying goodbye to 4 seniors here tonight. Halfway through the medley relay, butterfly leg, Sam Olson, Hunter Willett in the water. Hunter Willett with about a body length and a half lead. As we approach the anchor leg, Willett extends his lead here for the Jefferson A relay. Miles Bassett diving in for the Jaguars, and Derek Chang diving in for their B relay. And Miles will touch as the winner of the junior varsity 200 medley, 216.09. And we move to the varsity portion. Once again, 8 points for first, 4 for second, 2 for third. Leading things off for the Eagles here in lane number 4, Nathaniel Schuler. Drew Von Ruden will be in lane number 5 at the bottom, or at the top of your screen. For Jefferson, Preston Lee in the middle of the pool in lane number 3, Calvin Wynn in lane number 2. And the varsity 200 medley relay is in the water. Preston Lee with a fantastic start, gets a body length lead right off the start. Preston comes off the turn, body length ahead of Schuler. Jefferson right now sitting first and third as we approach the breaststroke leg. Ethan Clare dives in for the Jaguars. Sam Fernhaber in lane number 4 for the Eagles. Ben Lodwick right now trying to work his way into this race, sitting in a comfortable third spot for Jefferson. Ethan Clare trying to hold on to the lead Fernhaber closing the gap a little bit here on the breaststroke leg as they approach the halfway point. Aiden Shermack, one of the leaders of this Jaguar team, is going to dive in for the butterfly leg. Escute Cardenas in the water for the Eagles on the butterfly leg. Shermack stretches the lead now as we enter the anchor leg. Sealing diving in for the Jaguars for their A relay. Tyler Kaufman diving in for the Eagles. Lucas Backus diving in for Jefferson's second relay. Those are your top three scoring relays. Going into the anchor leg, Jaden Sealing with a nice cushion, and he's going to hold on to this win for Jefferson. More importantly, they're going to end up third also with Lucas Backus, time of 1:49.19 for their number one relay. So Jefferson, an early statement, will go up 10-4 after the medley. Sam Nicholson rounding things off for the Eagles here. And our first event is in the books. 10-4 Jags. Next up is our first individual event of the evening. This is the Junior Varsity 200 freestyle, 8 lengths of the pool. 3 Jefferson swimmers here in this junior varsity heat. We have Daniel Drake in lane number 1 at the bottom of the screen, Brendan Lucas in lane 2, and Mason Hobbs in lane number 3. First 50, Mason Hobbs with the early lead on Lucas. 200 free, one of those in-between events. You want to be able to take it out aggressive, but yet still have something to finish on the last 3 lengths. Most swimmers find it tough to find that in-between speed on their first 100. We'll see if Mason Hobbs took this out a little too aggressive. Brendan Lucas, a distant second right now. Coming up in the varsity 200 free, the Jaguars will have Adam Engeldinger in lane number 3, Jacob Strobel in 2, and Ian Rash in lane 1. For the Eagles, Kyle Schletty in lane 4, Caden Nicholson in 5, and Cole Harkin in lane number 6. Kyle Schletty has won the 200 freestyle last week against Cooper. That was his first individual victory of the season. Mason Hobbs not looking like he is going to fade here in this 200 free, as he is now about a half a length ahead of Brendan Lucas. As the 3 Jefferson boys have successfully separated themselves here in this 200 free almost immediately. Mason Hobbs will definitely have enough to finish up this 200 free and win the JV portion. And that concludes the 200 free. Mason Hobbs, Brendan Lucas, Daniel Drake in that order is your top 3 finishers. On to the varsity heat. Engeldinger, middle of the pool for Jefferson. Kyle Schletty in the middle of the pool for Kennedy. varsity 200 freestyle is in the water. Schletty trying to set the pace here for the Eagles. Also at the top of the screen, that's Caden Nicholson battling Engeldinger for second. Schletty right now taking a commanding body length lead early. Looking for his second victory of the season in this event. And right now he's getting actually more competition from his teammate on the outside. That's Caden Nicholson with a great second 50. Has closed the gap on his teammate as they almost flip even, and they definitely come out even. 100 yards to go, and Caden Nicholson with a strong second 50 has put himself in the lead. Schletty right on his shoulder. Engeldinger trying to close the gap, but he had faded here on the second 50. Caden Nicholson, top of the screen, has stretched out his lead. A great middle 100 by Nicholson to get himself in position here. A good body length up on Schletty. Engeldinger now closing the gap on Schletty on the second 50. And Schletty has now been overtaken by Engeldinger. Engeldinger now putting his sights on Nicholson. I don't know if he's going to have enough real estate. Nicholson, great 6 lengths on the end, fading a little bit right now, but he's got plenty of real estate to play with. Nicholson's going to end up winning this thing with his first victory of the season. Engeldinger will end up second. Kyle Schletty a third. Fourth place right now, a battle at the bottom of the screen with the two Jaguars, but they'll round out the fourth and fifth. Rash and Strobel in that order for fourth and fifth. So Jefferson with a second, fourth, and fifth. Kennedy will win the event 9-7 with a first and third place finish. Great swim by Caden Nicholson. Winning time of 2:06.33. He wins the event by 1.5 seconds. As we move into our next individual event, this is the 200 individual medley. This is junior varsity diving in lane number 1, bottom of the screen, Ian Rejda. Lane number 2, Ben Patton and Calvin Wynn in lane number 3 for the Jaguars. No Eagles here in the junior varsity heat. Early lead now, middle of the pool. In lane number 3, Calvin Wynn and Ian Rejda right at his hip after the butterfly leg. This is butterfly back, breast, and free in that order. Ian Rejda with a good turn on butterfly put him about an arm length lead on his teammate Wynn. Much needed 9-7 victory for the Eagles in that 200 freestyle. As we're looking at a score now, Jefferson at 19, Kennedy at 11.
The next one's the 200 varsity. Okay.
We're at the halfway point of this junior varsity 200 IM, and Ian Rejda with still a lead at the halfway point, about a body length on his teammate Calvin Wynn. 2 lengths to go. Ian Rejda has been leading this since the end of the butterfly leg, and he has stretched his lead now to about 2 body lengths. Coming up in the varsity portion, we've got a full heat. 3 Jaguars, 3 Eagles about to go into the varsity 200 IM. And Ian Rejda, your winner in the 200 IM with a time of 2:36.01. As Jefferson rounds out the JV portion of the 200 IM as we move to the varsity heat. For the Jaguars in lane number 3 will be Preston Lee, Ethan Clare in lane number 2. And at the bottom of the screen, Ben Lodwick. For the Eagles, top of the screen, Angel Romero. In lane number 5, Sam Fernhaber. And in lane number 3, I'm going to get this right, Escutia Cardenas. Jorge in lane number 4. Preston Lee with an early lead. We mentioned him at the beginning of the broadcast. He's got 3 individual victories to lead the way with Jefferson this year in 3 meets. And he's putting a stamp on this 200 individual medley early with the butterfly leg. Out in a very quick 27.2, a good 2.5 lead on the field after the butterfly leg. Third place right now, Ethan Clare trying to get into a race with Cardenas. Ethan Clare at the bottom of the screen in lane number 2. He's a breaststroker, so watch for him on this next 2 lengths to see if he can close the gap. But right now, Preston Lee, class of the field, has stretched his lead now at the halfway point. Ethan Clare already has moved into second place, and he is extending it. Cardenas trying to hold on to third right now as he's getting threatened by Ben Lodwick, who's also solid breaststroker for the Jaguars as he won the 100 breaststroke last week against Cooper. So Jefferson coming in with some back half swimmers here on second and third. They went into the breaststroke sitting third and fourth. They're coming out of it second and third. Preston Lee, though, right from the start has commanded this event, and he is going to waltz with a victory here in the 200 individual medley. Ethan Clare and Ben Lodwick trying to close the deal for a sweep here for Jefferson. Preston coming in with a time of 2:10.97. Ethan Clare will be second. Cardenas now closing the gap on Lodwick. He's trying to make it up from the breaststroke. It's going to go down to the touch. It goes to Lodwick with third. He'll hold on to it. So Jefferson will end up first, second, and third. Cardenas will be fourth, and Sam Fernhaber will round out the scoring for the Eagles. So Jefferson with a big win here in the 200 individual medley. That will put the score unofficially now as they win the event 13-3. Unofficially, that will put the score at Jefferson 32. Your Kennedy Eagles 14. As we move into the sprint event of the evening, the Junior Varsity 50 Freestyle. There's your participants on the screen. Willett, Robinson, and Olson for the Jaguars. Wiley, Von Ruden, and Henry Fernhaber, the younger brother of one of Kennedy's seniors here tonight in lane number 6. This rivalry goes back many, many decades, and you know that there's Eagles and there's Jaguar ex-swimmers watching tonight. They normally, some would be here watching this, as we always have alumni coming back and watching this meet. In the middle, at your leader, Hunter Willett, senior from Jefferson. Second right now is battling him at the, right underneath him, Klaus Robinson, his teammate. Those two are going to separate themselves from the field as Willett will win it here at the junior varsity portion with a 29.01. As we move over to the varsity heat of the 50, Jaguars will have Aiden Shermack in the middle of the pool, Jaden Sealing in lane number 2, and at the bottom of the screen, Gavin Meyer. For the Eagles, Tyler Kaufman in the middle of the pool, Sam Nicholson and Jaden Grace. A little bit of a jump in lane 6. I think they caught that. We'll see how the official scoring goes. But right now in the middle of the pool, it is all Aiden Shermack at the turn. Kaufman trying to stay tight. He's battling and fighting back here, but too much real estate. Aiden Shermack is going to end up winning the 50 here with a 22.95. Second place going to Tyler Kaufman with a 23.99. Third place from lane 1. Sam Olson with third place, and Jaden Sealing in lane number 2 will take fourth. So Kennedy with a second and fifth place finish as lane number 5. Sam Nicholson will end up fifth. Jefferson will win the event 11-5. That will put the score unofficially after the 50 freestyle, 43-19. We've concluded the first half of the swimming portion of tonight's rivalry swim meet between Kennedy and Jefferson. Stay tuned for the diving portion coming around the corner here at Oak Grove Middle School. You're watching BEC-TV and Kennedy High School boys swimming and diving.
Sam Gardner's first dive, 51-22D, forward, 1 somersault, 1 twist, free, 1.7. Judges score 5.5, 5.5, and 5. Sam Nicholson, a 51-21D, forward, 1 somersault, 1 half twist, free, 1.7. Judges score 5.5, 4.5, and 5. Mr. Gardner, a 51-24D, forward, 1 somersault, 2 twist, free, 2.3. Judges score 5.5, 5.5, and 5.5. Mr. Nicholson, a 51-22D, forward, 1 somersault, 1 twist, free, 1.9. Judges score 5, 3, 3.5. Wait, 5, 3, 3.5. Mr. Gardner, a 103C, forward, 1 1/2 somersault, twist, 1.6. Pardon me. 103C, forward, 1 1/2 somersault, tuck, 1.6. Judges score 5.5, 4.5, and 6. Mr. Nicholson, a 103C, forward, 1 1/2 somersault, tuck, 1.6. Judges score 5, 4, and 6. Sam Gardner, a 104C, forward, 2 somersault, tuck, 2.2. And the judges score 6, 6.5, and 6.5. Mr. Nicholson, a 104C, forward, 2 somersaults, tuck, 2.2. Judges score 5, 5, and 5. Mr. Gardner, a 202A, back, 1 somersault, straight, 1.7. Judges score 5, 5, and 5. Mr. Nicholson, a 201A back dive straight 1.7. Judges score 5, 5.5, and 4.5. Sam Gardner's last dive, a 402C inward, 1 somersault, tuck, 1.6. Judges score 5.5, 6, and 6. Mr. Nicholson's final dive, a 402C inward, 1 somersault, tuck, 1.6. No dive. And that completes tonight's diving competition. And before the warm-ups, we're going to have a little presentation. It's a special night here at Oak Grove Middle School Pool. It's senior night. So would the senior swimmers take your respective positions? Parents, stay in the stands. And tonight we're fortunate to
Jaden Grace, Kyle Schletty, and Sam Fernhaber, all 4 seniors making their way over to the scoring table. And we'll hand this over to the PA announcer as they do their little festivities here for the seniors.
We'll name the parents. Due to our COVID guidelines, the parents just please stand where you're at in the stands, and everyone kind of look and cheer. And okay. Tonight's first senior diver is Captain Samuel Fernhaber. Sam's been involved in the program for 4 years. Let's acknowledge Sam and his parents, Steve and Joanne. Steve and Joanne. Our second swimmer, Jaden Grace, he's been involved in the program for 6 years. Parents, Jean and Eileen. Captain Kyle Schletty, 5th year in the program. His parents are Rob and Katie. Katie, you got to stand. And finally, Nathaniel Schuler, 6th year in the program. His parents are Greg and Sherry. And these young men have been dedicated a lot of time to the swimming program. Coach Walsh would like to thank all of the seniors and their parents for all of their efforts and contributions to the Kennedy Swimming and Diving Organization. We'll miss you all. Thanks a lot, guys. Congratulations to the swimmers and the parents for the years of devotion to the program. Once we get the flags put up, I'll announce it. We'll have
We are back here at Oak Grove Middle School. We've got a crosstown rivalry week. The Kennedy Eagles and the Jefferson Jaguars. Boys swimming version. Diving concluded. We had 2 Kennedy divers going tonight. No Jefferson divers tonight. So Kennedy ended up winning the diving portion here tonight 10-0. And that put them right back into this meet. Jefferson now with the lead of 43-29 as we approach the second half of this dual meet here tonight at Oak Grove Middle School. Your winner in diving tonight, the 2 Kennedy divers actually. Second place was Sam Nicholson. Your winner tonight in his 3rd victory of the season, Sam Gardner. That name's familiar, it should be. Sam following his older brother and older sister, following in their footsteps on the Kennedy swimming and diving team. Both of them, Missy Gardner and Zach Gardner, both were swimmers through the Kennedy program. Both swam here many, many years. Both swam at Gus Davis. We'll see if Sam can follow those footsteps right into college. Shout out to Zach, because I know he's watching out there. He wouldn't miss this meet for anything. Our next event is coming up. This is going to be the 100 butterfly. We have the junior varsity heat. Actually, we will not have a junior varsity heat. We'll be moving right into varsity here in the 100 butterfly. Like I said, 10 much needed points by the Kennedy Eagles in diving. 14-point lead going into the back half of this thing for the Jaguars. Remember, at the end of the meet, we're going to announce the Eagle swimmer of the meet. We definitely have some candidates through that first half of the meet. An extremely impressive swim by Caden Nicholson in the 200 free. Ended up winning the 200 freestyle, his first victory of the season in an individual event. And of course, Sam Gardner with the other victory here tonight for Kennedy. We mentioned at the top, both teams 1 and 2 in the Metro West, looking to get the bragging rights here this year and also move ahead and even up their record in the Metro West Conference as they clear the pool here during this diving break warm-up for the second half. Timers are ready behind the blocks, and we will be starting this second half momentarily here from Oak Grove Middle School. You're watching BEC-TV live here tonight, so sit back and enjoy this second half of this meet. And the PA announcer is ready to go. Swimmers are starting to line themselves up for this second half. 14-point lead for the Jags. Let's see what we have for the second half of the meet. Still 2 relays on the docket later tonight, the 200 freestyle and the 400 freestyle relay. The 400 freestyle relay will conclude tonight's festivities from OGM. In the varsity 100 butterfly, the Jaguars will have Preston Lee in the middle of the pool. Preston won the 200 individual medley earlier in this meet. Jaden Sealing will be going in lane number 2, and Colin Hester in lane number 1 at the bottom of the screen. Kennedy will have Nathaniel Schuler, one of the 4 seniors honored here tonight, in lane number 4. Magnus Rumsdahl in lane 5, and Cole Harkin at the top of your screen in lane 6. And the varsity 100 butterfly is in the water. As he did in the 200 individual medley. Preston Lee with a good body length lead after the first leg. One of the more technically sound swimmers you'll see in Preston Lee as he approaches the halfway point. Second place, a battle between Sealing and Schuler. And now also Colin Hester sticking his nose into that race at the bottom of the screen. As they turn with one length to go, it's all Preston Lee as he's going to be a double winner here tonight. Victories 4 and 5 on the season for Preston. As he comes in with a very impressive 58.23. Jaden Sealing is going to end up second for Jefferson. Colin Hester at the bottom of the screen is going to be third. So Jefferson coming out of the break with a 13-3 sweep here in the 100 butterfly. So any thoughts that Kennedy had after the diving, Jefferson takes right back with a 13-3 victory here in the 100 butterfly. That's going to unofficially put the score at Jefferson 56 and Kennedy 32. As we go into the 100 freestyle, we'll have a junior varsity heat. Preston Lee's 58.23 is his best time this season for Preston. Preston was out for a good year and a half, 2 years with injuries, and now is back filling a very important role for the Jaguars. In the water for the Jaguars in lane number 1 at the bottom of the screen, that's Hunter Willett. Aiden Moody in lane 2 and Mason Hobbs just above him in the middle of the screen. For the Eagles, Samuel Wiley in lane 4, Drew Von Ruden in lane 5, and Henry Fernhaber in lane 6 at the top of the screen. This is the junior varsity 100 freestyle. Lane 3 right now, Mason Hobbs, followed by teammate Aiden Moody, separating themselves from the field. Hunter Willett is not in the water for Jefferson, so Jefferson with 2 entrants here. As they come into the last length, Mason Hobbs taking it to the house with a time of 1 minute, .13, narrowly missing that minute barrier. Moody will end up second. Third, a battle between 2 Eagles as they'll bring it right down to the wire. It's going to go to lane number 4. Samuel Wiley touching out Drew Von Ruden for third place. Next up will be the varsity portion of the 100 free. The Jaguars will have Aiden Shermack, who won the 50 earlier, Gavin Meyer in lane 2, and Lucas Backus will be at the bottom of the screen. For the Eagles, Tyler Kaufman in the middle of the pool, Jaden Grace, and at the top of the screen, Colin Bustos. 4 lengths of the pool. Shermack, we saw him absolutely destroy the heat in the 50 freestyle. And right now, he's trying to do the same here in the 100 free. Tyler Kaufman trying to stay in the race, but right now the race is for second. Kaufman and Meyer will battle for second. Great turn by Tyler to get out of that turn. He's got about a half a body length. Let's see if he can hold on to it here on the back half. Shermack running away from the field. He's going to win this thing. Second right now, Kaufman with another good turn is going to finish strong here. He's going to end up second. Although Meyer's battling back, he's not going to have enough real estate there. So first, third, and fourth will go to the Jaguars. Shermack, Meyer, and Backus, first, third, and fourth. Kaufman will end up second. Fifth place will go to Jaden Grace to round out the scoring. Jefferson will win the event 12-4. That'll put the unofficial score at 68-36 now, as Jefferson has extended their lead now to 32 points. Remember, after diving, this was a 14-point lead, and Jefferson has since in 2 events, they've outscored Kennedy 25-7 coming out of the break. In the water is the junior varsity 500 freestyle. This is the high school version of a distance event. We've got 3 Jefferson swimmers in the water. Brendan Lucas is your leader right now as he flips on length number, that's his first 2 lengths. This will be length number 3. 20 lengths of the pool for these young lads. Miles Bassett will be in lane number 2, and at the bottom of your screen will be Derek Chang. That's Brendan Lucas right there as your leader. Miles Bassett there in second, coming into his turn. Let's go, President! Go! 20 lengths of the pool. This is a very much an aerobic event. Need to make sure you have enough for the last 8 lengths. Isn't always the case that the leader in the first 4 to 6 lengths is going to be your winner. As Brendan Lucas flipping at length 5 now, has extended his lead to about 4 body lengths, as these junior varsity swimmers starting to separate themselves. You see the counter there with the counters with counters, helping the swimmers determine what length they're on. Nothing is worse in trying your best effort and not knowing what length you're on. Brendan, an up-and-coming swimming here, swimmer for Jefferson. Just needs time to grow. He's got a beautiful stroke. 200 mark. He's got 300 to go. As Miles comes into his 200 mark and flip. Each swimmer will, as I mentioned, each swimmer will have counters at the opposite of the starting end, keeping track of the odd lengths that they are on. When they get to the last length, they'll get a double orange, a welcome sight after 19 lengths. Sometimes you'll see the counters either shaking it or flipping the numbers upside down, indicating a message from their coach, and it's usually not very good. Will typically mean they're off pace. Next best thing to putting an earpiece in their ear. Brendan looking very smooth right here as he approaches the 13th length of this 20 length 500. Brendan holding 40.8 on his 50s. We'll see if he can finish strong and maintain that split. If not, maybe even get down to 39s as he closes the deal. Still looking strong. Miles Bassett in second. He's holding about 44 per 50. See if he can hold on to that pace here with 5 lengths to go. As Brendan reaches the 400-yard mark, he's going to have 4 lengths to go here as he flips with a split of 40.0 right on his split. Three lengths to go for Brendan as he is going to win this thing wire to wire here on the 500. Miles Bassett coming in at a 43-1 that split. As Brendan will get the bell with 2 lengths to go. .38.5 on that split. Brendan picking up his pace nicely with 2 lengths to go as he gets the double orange at length 19. Gonna come in right around 6:30, maybe a little bit higher. Kicking it in, lots of energy left at the end. That's nice to see from Brendan as he closes in at 6:30.34. Very nicely done. Miles Bassett approaching length 19 here as he's got 1 length to go. Miles coming into the wall. He's going to secure second. Can he get under 7? Oh, 7:01.29. Nice job, Miles. Third place for Jefferson also. Derek Chang. As he's got 3 lengths to go here, or 2.5 at this point. Coming up in the varsity heat of the 500, Jefferson will have 3 swimmers in the water. Adam Engeldinger, Ian Rash, and Jacob Strobel. Strobel in 1, Rash in 2, Engeldinger in 3. Kennedy will be countering with Kyle Schletty. Won this 500 freestyle event last week against Cooper. And Caden Nicholson, really the swim of the meet so far as he won the 200 freestyle earlier here tonight with a fantastic back half. So we'll see what Caden can do. See if he can back up that wonderful 200 free he had earlier. As Derek Chang comes into a round of applause on his last length here in the 500. Right now they officially have the score at 67-37, a 30-point lead for the Jaguars. Varsity 500 freestyle now. Schletty and Nicholson. Engeldinger, Rash, and Strobel. And the varsity heat of the 500 freestyle is in the water. Schletty with an early lead here. Remember, Nicholson really made his move in the 200 free on the back half, so we'll see if he's got the same strategy here in the 500 as he lags back about a half a body length right now at the top of the screen. For the Jaguars, Engeldinger hanging at Schletty's hip. Rash and Strobel right now a distant 4th and 5th. Engeldinger trying to hang tight. Schletty setting the pace for these boys at the 100-yard mark. All out between 105 and 106, 34 mids on all three on that 50. Right now, this looks like it could be a three-person race for first right now. Schletty looking very comfortable right now. So is Nicholson. Nicholson's closed the gap here a little bit. And I don't want to say he's making a move yet, but he has closed the gap here at the 150 mark. All three seem pretty comfortable right now to hang right where they are. We'll see who ends up trying to make a move first. Schletty wanted to establish a lead as he did in the 200 free. We'll see if that strategy will work for him here. Nicholson at the top of the screen wanting to hang back a little bit in the 200. He's doing the same thing right here in the 500. We'll see if he makes a move here soon. Engeldinger right now just hanging at Schletty's hip. Right now, fourth place belonging to Jacob Strobel, about a half a body length ahead of his teammate Ian Rash. As now Rash has come even now with Strobel for fourth. Very comfortable, the leaders right now. No one's ready to make a move quite yet as we reach the halfway point. We'll see if the coaches start shaking cards here soon to get them moving. Both Kennedy swimmers are getting cards shaken right now as Engeldinger has now established a half a body length lead. Not sure if that was Engeldinger making a move or Schletty and Nicholson falling off pace, but he has established a body length lead here at length 12, 300 yards in. Schletty with a good turn has gotten him back to about a half a body length. Engeldinger is really making a move right now. They do not want Engeldinger to get out too far ahead of them. You do not want a lot of real estate to catch up. Body length lead. He's established that just in this last 3 lengths. He was hanging on Schletty's hip for like the first 10 lengths of this 500, and then the last 4 lengths, Engeldinger has now stretched the lead to 2 body lengths. Schletty and Nicholson still maintaining. They're going about 37 mids right now. Engeldinger on that last 50 was 36.2, so he caught a good full second and a half almost. As Adam approaches the 400-yard mark. His split there is a 35.9, so Engeldinger is not getting any slower. The Kennedy boys, 38-37, are a little bit off pace, so they lost a good 2 seconds there on that 50. As Engeldinger has made his move and is continuing to make it, he is not going to look back on this with 3 lengths to go. There's just no way the Eagles are going to catch him. Nicholson has overtaken Schletty for second as he's now opened up a body length lead on his teammate, but it's going to be too little too late to catch Engeldinger as he gets the bell lap with 2 lengths to go. A 35.4 on that 50 for him. 36.6 for Nicholson and a 38.0 on Kyle Schletty. Last length, Engeldinger made this close race. He opened it up and he has not looked back, and he's only getting stronger right now. Fantastic last 8 lengths by Adam Engeldinger as he comes in at a 550.19. There's your winner of the varsity heat. Nicholson will end up second with a strong back half at 5:57.32. Third will go to Kyle Schletty. So Kennedy will end up losing the event 9-7 as they're the only two scoring. Strobel will outtouch his teammate Ian Rash for fourth, and Ian Rash will round out the scoring with a fifth place finish.
Next up, 200-yard freestyle relay.
So Jefferson will win the event 9-7. Which will extend their lead to 76-43 as we move into our last four events of the evening. Next up is our second relay of the night. This is the 200 freestyle relay. Junior varsity 200 freestyle relay is in the water. Two Jefferson relays, Ian Rejda in lane number 3 and Klaus Robinson in lane number 2 at the bottom of the screen. Rejda getting Jefferson's A relay out to an early lead. Hunter Willett will dive in for the A relay. Aiden Moody dives in for the second leg for the B relay. This is the sprint relay, 200 freestyle relay, 2 lengths of the pool for each member. We got a full heat coming up, almost a full heat. 2 Jefferson relays, 3 Kennedy relays coming up in the varsity portion of this relay. Strobel diving in for the Jaguars, just got out of the 500. Ian Rash diving in, just got out of the 500. That's what 500 freestylers do. They swim the 200 freestyle relay. No worries. Anchoring is Adam Engeldarn, our winner of the previous heat. He'll anchor this JV 200 freestyle relay along with Derek Chang. And Engeldinger will finish up the 200 freestyle relay. No rest for the weary on that relay, as we saw 3 of those guys in the 500 freestyle approximately 1 minute prior to this. As we move to the varsity portion of the 200 freestyle relay, Jefferson will have 2 relays. Aiden Shermack will be leading off in lane 3 and Ethan Clare leading off in lane number 2. For the Eagles, Sam Fernhaber in lane number 4. Colin Bustos in lane 5 and Cole Harkin in lane 6 at the top of the screen. Shermack 22.9 earlier in this 50 freestyle. Let's see if he can repeat it as he is going to establish a huge lead here for the Jaguars to lead off. Preston Lee coming up second. And 23.43, a little bit off what he did earlier in the meet. But it's going to be plenty here as Brendan Lucas dives in for the Jefferson Jaguars. He's sitting in second right now. Sam Nicholson diving in for the Eagles number 1 relay, along with Sam Gardner and Magnus Romsdahl. Halfway through this 200 freestyle relay, the Jaguars not looking back as they led off with Shermack and Lee. Gavin Meyer now, the senior, is in the water. Jaden Sealing will anchor this relay. The battle is now for second place. Schletty in the water for the Eagles number 1 relay, and Mason Hobbs in the for Jefferson's second relay as Sealing dives in. Tight race for second as they go to the anchor leg tie. Ben Lodwick from Jefferson and Caden Nicholson just out of the 500 will try to anchor this for Kennedy. But your winner in the middle of the pool, Jaden Sealing, is going to finish off with a 134.55. Jefferson with a slight edge here on the second relay. They're looking to sweep this 200 freestyle relay. And they do, with Ben Lodwick touching out Caden Nicholson. So Jefferson with a 12-2 win here in the 200 freestyle relay. That could put it out of reach for Kennedy here tonight, as unofficially that'll put the score at 88-45 as we go into the last three events of the evening.
Next up, the 100-yard backstroke junior varsity.
Junior varsity 100 backstroke is next up. We have two individual events left, the 100 backstroke and the 100 breaststroke. And then we'll conclude tonight's rivalry with the 400 freestyle relay. Sam Olson, Daniel Drake, and Ben Patton in the water for the Jaguars here in this JV heat of the 100 back.
Lane 1 for Jefferson, Sam Olson. Lane 2 for Jefferson, Daniel Drake. And lane 3 for Jefferson, Ben Patton.
Patton with the early lead for the Jaguars in lane number 3. Teammates Drake and Olson battling for second, a good body length and a half back as they approach the halfway point. Remember, we will be naming the Eagles swimmer of the meet here tonight at the conclusion of this high school dual meet. Ben Patton stretching his lead. He's led this from the start. He's going to win this JV 100 back wire to wire. With a time of 1:16. As it did not flash up there, coming up at 1:19, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be much faster. He kind of did not hit the pad appropriately.
Next up, the 100-yard backstroke.
So next up is our varsity 100 backstroke. For the Jaguars, Colin Hester, Lucas Backus, and Calvin Nguyen. For the Eagles, we'll have Nathaniel Schuler, Jorge Escutia Cardenas, and Drew Van Ruden. Colin Hester trying to get out. Lucas Backus right beneath him. Lucas won this 100 backstroke against Cooper last week. Hester with a little bit of a lead on Nathaniel Schuler. Schuler going right with him as those two start to separate themselves from the field. Schuler won the backstroke against Cooper and Benilde this year, and he's looking to do it against Jefferson as he's got about an arm length lead on Hester. Great flip turn by Schuler. That gives him about a body length lead on Hester as they approach the wall. It's going to be Nathaniel Schuler with a great back half of his backstroke with his third victory in the 100 back this season. With a time of 102.12. Hester a 103.70 and Backus at a 104.57 will end up third. Fourth place going at the top of the screen in lane number 5 as Jorge Escutia Cardenas, I'm sure I pronounced that at least 4 different ways tonight, is your fifth place. Fourth place finisher. fifth place in lane 1 at the bottom of the screen. That's Calvin Nguyen from Jefferson to round out the scoring. So Kennedy with the first and fourth place finish. That will be an 8-8 tie in the event. Junior varsity 100 breaststroke is in the water. Unofficially, we have the score after the 100 backstroke now. Jefferson at 96, Kennedy at 53. Our last individual event of the evening in the water for the Jaguars is Aiden Moody, Miles Bassett, and Klaus Robinson. Robinson in lane 1 at the bottom of the screen. Moody in the middle in lane number 3. He's your early leader here. For the Kennedy Eagles, we have Ryan Von Ruden battling now with Miles Bassett. But your leader, Aiden Moody, at the halfway point. Last individual event coming up in the varsity, Ethan Clare for the Jaguars, Lodwick from Jefferson, and Ian Rejda will round out the field for the Jaguars. For the Eagles, we got Sam Fernhaber, Angel Romero, and Colin Bustos. Right now it's all Aiden Moody in this JV 100 breast. As there's the touch and the winner of the JV 100 breaststroke, 1:23.13. Second place at the bottom of the screen, that's Klaus Robinson with the second. Third place going to Bassett, and Ryan Von Ruden will round out the field here in the junior varsity heat. Once again, full heat of varsity 100 breaststrokers here. It's our last individual event of the evening. There they are. Rejda, Lodwick, and Clare for the Jaguars. Fernhammer, Romero, Bustos for the Eagles. And the varsity 100 breaststroke is in the water. Fernhammer, early lead. Clare on his hip. Breaststroker has not won an individual event in the 100 breaststroke this season in his senior year. I'm sure he would love to have his first victory here be tonight against the Eagles. But Sam Fernhaber is having something to say about it as these two breaststrokers neck and neck at the halfway point as they approach length number 3. Clare now starting to pull his way to a half a body length lead. It's all about the underwater work right now. Can you maintain the momentum? And Clare does. He didn't lose any gain. He didn't gain anything, but he maintains the lead and stretches it here on the second half of this last leg. Clare is going to end up winning this thing with a 1:10.01. Fernhaber will take second. Third place going to Jefferson's Ben Lodwick will end up third. Fourth going to Ian Rejda. Fifth will go to Angel Romero for the Eagles. So Kennedy with 5 points. They'll lose that event 12-5. Which should put the score unofficially at 108-58 as we approach the last relay event and our last event of the evening. The 400 freestyle relay for junior varsity is in the water. Calvin Nguyen in the water for the Jaguars. We got one relay in the water for this 400 freestyle relay. 4 lengths of the pool for each member. We got Calvin Nguyen. We got Ben Patton, we got Daniel Drake, and we got Sam Olson anchoring this 400 freestyle relay. The varsity portion, Kennedy will have 3 relays. Jefferson will have 2 relays. Too much depth here from Jefferson. A lot of youth on this Jefferson team. They're only going to get better over the course of the next 2 years as this youth just gets better and better. Kennedy's got some kids coming up, but they just cannot compete with the numbers and the depth that Jefferson brings to the table. As we approach the second leg here, this is Ben Patton in the water for the Jaguars. Ben Patton out 32-7 here. Now they have the score at 107 to 59 on the scoreboard, so I'm off 1. Daniel Drake ready to dive in for the Jaguars. The Kennedy Eagles senior night here did not go the way they had hoped, but they did have an opportunity to say goodbye to 4 very important summers as their 4 seniors having their last Oak Grove Middle School dual meet. Nathaniel Schuler, Jaden Grace, Kyle Schletty, and Sam Fernhaber say goodbye to Oak Grove Middle School and their high school swimming career. Always a special night, and especially during COVID, to actually have one of these nights is really special. Last leg of this 400 freestyle relay is Sam Olson getting ready to anchor Jefferson's lone relay here. Kennedy will have a very much loaded 400 freestyle relay coming up for the Eagles. Jefferson will not have Preston Lee or Aiden Shermack in this 400 freestyle relay, so Kennedy with an opportunity here in the 400 free relay to salvage a little bit of the evening here by taking home a victory to send these seniors out with a win on the 400 freestyle relay. Sam Olson bringing things home for the JV portion of this 400 freestyle relay. Touch and concluding the 400 freestyle relay. Sam Olson touches, and that concludes the JV portion of tonight's meeting. Varsity Keat coming up for the Eagles in lane number 4. We got Nathaniel Schuler. We've got Jorge Escutia Cardenas, Kyle Schletty, and Tyler Kaufman. Leading off in lane 5, Caden Nicholson. And in lane number 6, Magnus Lundstall. For Jefferson, Gavin Meyer leading things off in lane number 3. And Brendan Lucas at the bottom of the screen in lane number 2. Right now, your early lead is Jefferson. That's Gavin Meyer, the senior. Schuler trying to stay tight on a half a body length back. Both Kennedy relays as here comes Caden Nicholson in the back half. No surprise there with the kind of night he's had. Second and third, Kennedy about a body length back as Gavin Meyer has given Jefferson a very important leadoff. Second leg dives in. That's Colin Hester diving in for the Jaguars. Cardenas in the water for the Eagles in lane 4, and Jaden Grace as they battle here for second place. Jefferson's A relay showing their depth without Preston Lee or Aiden Shermack in this relay, establishing about a half a length lead right now. There's the two Kennedy relays battling it out. As Hester approaches the wall, Mason Hobbs dives in for Jefferson. Schletty will dive in for the Eagles along with Angel Romero. A lot of real estate to catch up for Schletty at this point. Mason Hobbs and then Adam Engeldinger will be anchoring the Jefferson relay. He was the winner of the 500 freestyle here tonight. He will be going up against Tyler Kaufman. But there's a whole lot of real estate, a lot of blue in between those two relays right now. Engeldinger now about to dive in for the anchor leg for Jefferson. Kennedy coming into the wall. Kaufman now about to dive in for Kennedy. Kaufman will close the gap. I just think there's way too much real estate out there for him to be able to catch it all in 4 lengths. Engeldinger out 29-4 at the 50 mark. Schletty out 24-8, so he caught like 4.5 seconds there, but he's just not going to have enough real estate to finish the deal. Engeldinger comes off the last turn. Here comes Schletty. He's going to make this interesting. Just not enough to try to catch from that far behind. So Engeldinger will end up winning this relay for the Jaguars. Kennedy will end up second. Third place right now hanging on is the Kennedy's second relay. That's Colin Bustos in the water. Also in lane number 2 now for Jefferson. Lucas Back is closing the gap, and he's actually going to overcome him. So Jefferson's second relay coming from behind will end up third. So Jefferson with a 10-4 win here in the relay. As Kennedy's third relay, Ryan Von Ruden will finish up. That Kennedy's third relay had Magnus Rumsdahl, Samuel Wiley, and then the two brothers, Drew Von Ruden and Ryan. This is Ryan finishing it up. So that concludes here the 2021 version of this rivalry. Unofficially, I have the score at 118-62, but we'll see as they tabulate it here. Plenty of candidates here on senior night here tonight at Oak Grove for the Eagles, as the Eagles said goodbye to Nathaniel Schuler, Jaden Grace, Kyle Schletty, and Sam Fernhofer. But tonight's Eagle swimmer slash diver of the meet, with his first place finish in the 200 freestyle and second place finish in the 500 here tonight. Caden Nicholson is your Eagle swimmer slash diver of the meet. Fantastic job by Caden tonight. Great back halves on both the 500 and the 200 freestyle to achieve those 10 points for Kennedy, a first and a second tonight. His first place finish this year for the Eagles. So tonight's meet was a whole lot of Jefferson blue. Too much for the Kennedy Eagles here tonight. As we have the final score now with Jefferson 117, your Kennedy Eagles 63. You've been watching BEC-TV. I'm Jeff Lee. Stay tuned for more swimming and diving throughout the year right here on BEC-TV. Have a great night.